Hello, this is Peter Deng. I'm trying to help you to understand how to do your homework for the question 25 because I think this is typical in your homework. So I want to help you out to understand this question. On the left, all these functions is in the tool kit for the functions. Yes, you can try to solve this homework by you read your page 12 of chapter 1, but I do not think that's a good way to study mathematics. I believe it's a good way to solve this problem to understanding this problem. So you look at the left hand side, so this is left. Your left is function, right at the graph. The first graph is not common, so let's do not look at the graph A first. Let's look at the graph B. As I told you in my previous YouTube video, and this is for the function of y equals 1 over x, because 1x becomes bigger and bigger, y becomes smaller, smaller. When x becomes smaller, smaller, 1 over x becomes bigger and bigger. Okay, and x, because it's 1 over x cannot be 0. So this graph, these two graphs are symmetric to the coordinate 0, 0. So this is 1 over x. So b corresponding to this way. So the b corresponding to 1 equal to 1 over y equal to 1 over x. And the c function is not common either. So let's ignore c. Let's look at the d. D is a very extremely important function for y equal to x squared, because look at when x equals 1 or x equals minus 1, y equals 1. So that's x squared. When x equals 2 and when x equals minus 2, both cases y equals 4 because it's x squared. Okay, so d, the function d is same as the function y equal to x squared. So that should be d. Okay, that's how we do this. So y equal to x squared is the function, the graph d. Y over x is the graph b. Okay. Now let's look at the graph e. E, because look at x can only be greater than or equal to 0. And the y is always greater than or equal to 0. So that's our, in my previous video, it's a square root. Because inside square root, your x cannot be negative. So the graph e is y equal to square root. So this is e. Y equal to square root is e. Okay? Now let's look at the f. F is symmetric to y-axis, as in my previous video. This is y equal to absolute value of x, because when x equals 1 or minus 1, both y equals 1. When x equals 2 or negative 2, both cases y equals 2. So they are symmetric to the x and y-axis. So this graph f is absolute value of x. So this is f. E. This is e. No, this is f. Okay. Now let's look at the graph h is the simplest and most important function y equal to x, because this is a straight line. When x equals 1, y equals 1. When x equals 2, y equals 2. When x equals 5, y equals 5. When x equals negative 2, y equals negative 2. So this is y equal to x. So this is the easiest one. H related to y equals x. So the h, so this is h. Okay, so we only have 3 graphs left. Now let's figure out the first one, graph A. See, one graph A, when x equal to 1, y equals 1. And as these x become bigger, bigger, even when x equals 5, y is less than equal to. So this is let me see. This is this one is cube. So this is cube root. So this is cube root. So this function is the graph A is cube root. See, even me need to figure out why it is this one, because it cannot be cube, because 1x5 which is cube is 5 cube is huge number, so it cannot be true. Okay, so this is cube. So the graph A is y equals cube root, okay, of x. Now, what about 1 over x squared? 1 over squared is always greater than equal to 0. So that's graph G. Okay, graph G, when 1 over x squared, when x becomes bigger, y approaches 0. When x becomes smaller, from the part side, it becomes huge. So this is 1 over x squared. So this graph G is y equal to 1 over x squared. So that's, let me see, this is G, graph G. So this is G. So if you look at the graph C, x equals 1, y equals 1. When x equal 2 is huge. So the graph C is y equal to x cubed. So this is C. Okay, so that's how you do the question 25. And I hope if you understand this way how to do it, you can solve most of the other questions from 25 to the remaining. Okay, thank you.